we're so excited to have you on with us because this is a what an exciting show. I mean, it's one of those things that if you would have told somebody about it years and years ago that so many people would be excited about watching other people play and not playing themselves, you would have been like, I don't know, but it's what a phenomenon, right?
Sure, and we know that millions and millions of eyeballs are glued to different streaming platforms and YouTube, watching people play esports. And it, of course, would only make sense that a show like this would come around, tell the stories behind the stories of one of the greatest esport competitions ever assembled.
Absolutely, and what fun personalities they have too. I mean, there's a number of these people that could probably have their own shows, right?
It's true. Well, this is one of the great things about doing these projects is you find these larger than life personalities with incredible personal stakes involved. People who are playing not only for pride but for their families' survival, um, for for their own sense of self, for their for an industry, but also for a legend that they're building.
Hmm. Well, and of course, you've worked with so many big stars before: Elton John, Carol G, Billie Eilish. The list goes on and on. But you know a star when you see one. Who are the stars here that we need to look out for?
Well, we know that Faker is one of the world's great stars, and his mystery is as significant as his celebrity. But I think that Chell and Cindy from Team Vitality are huge stars, and it's amazing to see what they're able to do with Mobile Legends Bang Bang and also with their just as two women in a very much a man's world. So that's thrilling to see. Soka, of course, is fantastic. I mean, they're just in every episode you see multiple great personalities who, as you say, could drive their own series.
Yeah. Now, are you much of a gamer yourself?
I am not at all. I'm entering a world that I'm not familiar with, which is not new for me. I love kind of floating down into the world of Anna Wintour's Vogue magazine or Billie Eilish's world. These are. It's not that I don't understand the context, of course, but to a certain extent, going in with a certain amount of just curiosity and fascination and wide-eyed wonder is what drives a lot of my work.
Yeah, and I was interested about that too. Is like you could choose any subject that you want to at this point, and what was it about this that just made you go, "All right, I'm up for this challenge"?
Well, we love sports storytelling, and here was a
Mhm.
great opportunity. Our partners at Sony had made a deal with the Esports World Cup to tell stories around this competition, and we saw a great opportunity there. Also, this year we told the story of last year's World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers, in a series that we did for Apple TV Plus called Fight for Glory, and we kind of were doing them both at the same time, and we just love being in the sports world, and telling sports stories and building shows around competitions, but also around the personal stories that make our work unique.
Okay, so you like good sports stories. My co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys. Caught the Hail Mary, won the Hall
Yeah,
of Fame, and of
sure.
course we love him. And we love asking people their Hail Mary moment, which is that moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you?
Oh my goodness. I very early on I was doing a project and the arrangement between the subjects and the financiers required a certain amount of craftiness, let's say, to get everybody on the same page, which they very much weren't. And I needed to make certain promises that I hope the world wouldn't find out about. So I'm telling a story. I realize as I'm telling the story, even all these years later, I don't want to reveal myself. So there's no Hail Mary. There's no Hail Mary for me. I'm keeping it close to the breast,
Yeah.
to my chest.
Yeah, but
But Hail Mary is a big part of what we do. Sometimes you just gotta go for it, even though, I mean, even with The War Room, the first film that I produced, everybody said including George Stephanopoulos, who ended up being the subject of the film, said there's no way you're ever going to be able to make this film, and you just gotta, you know, in a way, not knowing what I didn't know, not knowing that I'd never really get in there it helped me because then we were able to get in there.
yeah. Well, I got to tell you, one of my favorite moments from this last year was being in New York and seeing the Elton John documentary, and then afterwards in the queue, instead of a Q&A, there's a piano, and I'm sure that wasn't easy to pull off either.
It was not. Thank you for recognizing that because I was point on that one for sure. Well, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what a night. We were at Lincoln Center at the New York Film Festival,
Hmm.
and it was the American premiere of Elton John Never Too Late, and it couldn't have gone better. It was a beautiful, beautiful night, and you're right. Instead of the Q&A, Elton came out and he performed, and he hadn't performed in several months because he was having trouble with his eyesight. And man, it was beautiful. It was a very special night for everybody who was there. So I'm glad you got to share it with us.
Oh, absolutely. Wouldn't miss it for anything. Well, now and then, of course, but it was a surprise though. And now, of course, people look up to you all the time, because you work on such a high level. What kind of advice would you give to somebody that wants to tell great stories in a way that you do?
Just tell the truth. It's the right way to go. Make sure that you're telling as compelling a story as you want to hear, and do it again and again and again. I really encourage people. Some people like to imagine they'll go off to film school for several years. I say take that money and make a movie, or take that money and make three movies. When I was coming up, you really needed a film school environment to get equipment, to get, access to certain things that now we have on our iPhone. You've got a camera on your phone, you've got an edit facility on your phone, you've got a mixing facility on your phone. With AI, you've got all sorts of things, and dare I say, talk about a Hail Mary. If you want higher level equipment, buy it off of Amazon, use it for 28 days and send it back. They'll be happy to take it and make your movie. Make your movie and then make another movie and then make another movie. That's always my advice.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, and part of it, and tying into this show as well, is that success mindset. And of course, you've been around some high level people like yourself, and they operate in a certain way, and you do yourself. Is there something that you keep in mind that kind of keeps you on the right path always?
Oh, balance, 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 I guess is what I want to say. If good art comes from not from I mean, it can come from obsession, but I think the more you're kind of stimulating your imagination, the more you're taking in, the more you're exposing yourself to, the more you're engaging with other people, the richer your work will be. So that's something that I try to keep my eye on, and try to, you know, I try to keep in mind all the time.
Yeah, I love that. Well, to wrap it up, what do you want people to take away from this adventure that we're about to get into? Because I know there's so much going on here.
Well, Level Up is, we're so proud of this series, so grateful that we had the chance to make it. So grateful for the partnership with the Esports World Cup, and thrilled to be doing it again this coming season. And I think people are going to you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to stomp your feet, you're going to see great stories and great characters, and have a lot of fun watching the series. So I'm really excited. Next, I think it's this Friday on Amazon for the series to drop and to share it with the world. And we're also so grateful for our partnership at Amazon. They've just been terrific partners. So we're thrilled about the show.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for always putting out great stuff. We can't wait to see the whole thing, and look forward to talking to you again sometime soon.
All right, my friend. Great to talk to you.
Okay.
Thank you.